All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We got some more updates on Modern Warfare 4 from Fanatic Fest, some more information that's been coming out. I did see on Twitter today, Timmy Tenders was streaming some Modern Warfare 4, and although he didn't prove himself to be an MP demon by any means, he did showcase that you can now underhand tacticals with a pistol out. You're not gonna be able to throw them as far, but you'll be able to throw them more accurately. This can probably help for some of those situations where maybe you're, I don't know, trying to break into a hill and hard point or something. You can keep that tactical in your hand, and if you peek, you catch a couple bullets. If you're able to get away with your life, throw the stun in immediately while being able to keep your gun out in case they push. If they get stunned in the doorway, you can kind of finish them off there. I think it's a interesting little mechanic they've decided to put in the game there. I did also see some shotgun gameplay. The shotguns look, strong, like, they typically always are. So if you are a shotgun enjoyer, things are looking pretty good for you. I'm not gonna lie. Am I necessarily happy about it? I mean, I'm pretty indifferent to it at this point. I used to be a lot more upset about shotguns when I was, when was that? Like when I was in, might be exposing myself here, when I was in middle school during like Black Ops 3 area with the brecci. Oh my God, the amount of times I rage quit because of that fucking gun, bro. I did also see here from Ghost of Hope that during Tim the Tatman stream, he was getting a bunch of headshots, ended up unlocking a camo. So Ghost of Hope is speculating, because he can't leak anything anymore. He's speculating based on actual factual evidence that was on stream that camo challenges are probably going to be headshots again this year. And I hope they stick to it, even if it's headshots with snipers. I know some of the snipers in Black Ops 7 were one-shot kills. If it was just headshots for everything, honestly, I really wouldn't mind. I can't remember if there's anything weird with shotguns, if it was point blanks or anything like that. It might have been, but if it was just purely headshots kind of across the board, I don't necessarily think that would be a bad thing. I remember MW4 with the long shots and having to just fucking spend hours of my life looking down mid on shoot house. Even though I love shoot house, that shit drove me crazy. So if it's just headshots, I think I could live with that. I did see that the detonated.com Twitter account made a post asking for people's rating of the game so far, and just going through the comments on this tweet, I saw a couple of things that I wanted to bring up. The first reply I wanted to read is from Top Notch. He said, movements seem to be in a well-balanced place. Weapon VFX still seems ass, especially the gun shake. It's just distracting. Maybe it's just the alpha, but kill blocks seemed repetitive as far as map combinations. I like the old simple UI and nostalgia, but modernize it a bit. And I'd say for the most part, I agree with pretty much everything he said in here. A lot of the weapon effects I like, even going back to Modern Warfare 2, the gun shake on the tac, for me personally, did kind of give the tac that, I guess, just that physical feeling, and that it had a little bit more pop to it, that it was a little bit stronger. But I could even say that at times I felt like that was a little bit much. And for the VFX, even in just some of the gameplay that we saw from the video that Infinity Ward put out breaking down some of the new changes for the game, there were parts of it that I just didn't really care for. I like the idea of obviously having some of those realistic effects with the gun, but with a lot of that muzzle flash and a lot of that smoke that was coming out of the gun, it really kind of washed out the area around your gun. And when you're playing this game and it's an arcade shooter, it's fast paced, I feel like washing that out can maybe distract from some of those secondary targets that could pop up either behind or the side of your target, moving out of, corners, walls. And I know they try to do, their little thing by cutting out a circle in the middle of it so the target's clear. And it is, an issue with target acquisition and target visibility, but that's not just the, the only part of it. And they did actually address that today by making some changes. I could put the before and after up. The difference between the two is tremendous. I think it looks absolutely better now, and I don't think they'll have to change from this. I don't know, you guys can let me know what you think down in the comment section. I think this is probably as perfect as we could have asked it to be. You could probably argue maybe they overcompensated just a little bit for the sake of trying to give the people what they want without having to make a secondary change and having people be unhappy that the change they made wasn't good enough. It's all probably more up to personal preference on that one. Zombie Privilege said, honestly, it looks about the same as MW19 BO6. Not super impressed. Disbanding lobbies look like they are back, which is awful. Can't believe they aren't doing an alpha. I can't really remember how many CODs have done alpha tests before off the top of my head. And I mean, I've really only participated in betas in the last couple of CODs, so I'm not the person that would know that kind of information. But I do agree with him. The disbanding lobbies thing, I think BO7 made some progress by giving us a little bit more of that, you know, classic, authentic matchmaking you feel. I feel like going forward, they should have taken further steps to giving us more of that, and disbanding lobbies, I am just not a fan of. So if those are going to be back, it's kind of another knock on the game. But I mean, if you're someone that likes the game and you've been playing it, I mean, it's basically just going to stay the same. So can you really, you know, be too upset about that? And actually, I got so distracted during Top Notch's tweet about the VFX. I didn't even mention what I wanted to say about Kill Block. From a viewing perspective, I know they said there's going to be like 400 something combinations, and I don't even know if all of those combinations are available in the alpha. I would imagine so. What, you know, why wouldn't they be? Are they going to be like, oh, season 2 reloaded, we're adding 50 more combinations to Kill Block? That would kind of be stupid. Kind of what I was expecting was an experience that was a little bit more visually jarring, and a lot of what I was seeing on Kill Block was obviously the map changes, but the color of the different tiles, if you want to call them that, kind of stayed the same. And you know, I've been working all week. I haven't really been able to sit down and watch hours upon hours of gameplay. After I finish recording this video, while I'm editing, I was going to watch more of Tim the Tatman's gameplay to kind of catch up on the little details of the gameplay that maybe I've been missing out on. So maybe I could be mistaken. Maybe this is already the case, but I was expecting something that could be a little bit more dramatic, as like, say, not that, you know, these maps are the same size or it even work, but in terms of lighting changes as you're moving through the different tiles, the experience being, you know, that, you know, the red team spawn could be Shoot House, and then the middle tile could be, say, a plaza from Black Ops 2. Well, then the blue spawn maybe could be a portion of, I don't know, a map like Standoff. But just using those as an example, I know that's not a perfect example, but the idea of, you know, a spawn starts, it's in the daytime, it's sunny out, it's bright out, and then you move to an indoor section that is that dark nightclub kind of feel. The setting completely changes and then it opens back up into a different lighting situation. I think I really would have liked that more. And even with some of the weather that I think they've said is going to play a part in the combinations, moving into portions of the map where maybe you're going from, you know, summer to winter to fall, or, you know, whatever combination of that, I think would be awesome. But if it's going to be weather effects that are affecting the entire map, if the colors are just going to be consistent throughout all the tiles, I feel like it's just going to kind of feel like a bunch of slapped together maps a little bit. But I'm going to obviously reserve judgment until I can get my hands on it. And, you know, like I said, I still have to watch more gameplay. This could all just be, you know, a made up theory in my head because I haven't exactly seen the gameplay that everyone else has. Kavimaz said he rates it a 7. It's good, but I feel like it needs a visual upgrade. I don't understand how this is a current gen game. It looks a lot like MW19, MW3. I would say if you're comparing this to MW 2019 as far as the visual presentation goes, I would say that MW19 looked tremendous and exceeded the quality that I think a lot of other games were putting out for that platform. And I think that's a credit to Infinity Ward. They, in my opinion, have the best visuals as far as, you know, even, you know, cutscenes in the campaign, graphic fidelity, all that kind of stuff. I'd put them kind of neck and neck with Sledgehammer. I think Treyarch kind of sits a little bit below that in my opinion. And I think that's a good bar to just try to stick to, is, you know, that level of quality while obviously making improvements here and there. And I think, you know, with a lot of what's going on in the PC market as far as, you know, parts and different things, you know, RAM getting expensive, graphics cards getting expensive because of data centers, and, you know, when Bitcoin was becoming a thing, people setting up Bitcoin miners kind of drove up the price of certain cards. I think upgrading a PC is becoming more of a privilege than something that a lot of people are going to be able to do. So I think going forward, if it is true what this person is saying, if we take what they're saying and we just make it absolute fact that it looks exactly the same as MW 2019, I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing for the gaming market if we saw some of these games kind of plateau a little bit for a couple of years, while it allows the market to kind of stabilize a little bit before we reach a point where more people are going to be bottlenecked by their PCs because of the cost of things. You know, everything's getting more expensive these days. I'd hate for people to be in a situation where they can't enjoy the game they love in the way that they want to enjoy it. I just went through, took another look at the timeline. I'm not releasing any new updates, any new information coming out, so I think I'm all caught up for today. But if there's anything you guys think that I missed, please feel free to let me know down in the comment section below. I would love to get any kind of insight you guys have about the game. And if you enjoyed the video, if you don't mind, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be trying to put out videos like this, updating about any new information coming out from Modern Warfare 4 whenever we we get new information presented to us, all the way up until the launch of the game, where we will be getting into the camo grind. So if you want to stick around for any of that, like I said, do subscribe to the channel, leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Let me know down in the comment section how you are feeling about Modern Warfare 4, the information that we've received about the game so far. But with all that being said, I will talk to you guys later.